a 57-year-old suspect in a deadly rampage at the Colorado abortion clinic. Question, is he a domestic terrorist? Is he a psychopath? Is it mental illness, or all the above? Take a look at this.
The initial charge is murder in the first degree.
Robert Deere appears by video in an El Paso County courtroom. The 57-year-old wore a protective vest and had his hands cuffed.
Do you have any questions about any of these rights, sir?
No questions.
Investigators say Friday, Deere opened fire in and around a Planned Parenthood clinic, killing 3 people. A law enforcement official says after the shooting, Deere mentioned, quote, baby parts. Prosecutors have not released a motive for the Planned Parenthood attack, but we may find out more next week when Deere is expected to appear in court again to be formally charged.
The man you're looking at there has a history of run-in with the law, including accusations of animal cruelty, peeping Tom, domestic violence. These are all accusations. There are reports he posted ads for discreet sadomasochistic sex. So, in my opinion, humbly, this guy has features of a couple of problems. Chris, you seem to agree with me on this. He lacks empathy. He has hurt animals. He's antisocial at best. At worst, he's a psychopath, right? And it seems like there's something that really escalated him recently, whether it's drugs and alcohol or a mood disturbance or bipolar.
Always targeted towards women. His history of possible rape, his wife-beating allegations. He attacks Planned Parenthood, which I think right now is ground zero of, female sexual liberation and reproductive health.
Yes. Well, but what I find fascinating is I look at a lot of the comments online where as people are becoming aware of this pattern of ever escalating misbehavior, and the questions are like, why wasn't this stopped before? And I think what people need to appreciate and recognize in the criminal justice system is we don't lock people up prospectively, even though we may see this.
Yeah, but here's my problem, and I have this problem, and I'll challenge both you guys with this, and you've heard me say this many, many times. Physicians, psychologists can prognosticate, but our ability to prognosticate is without teeth in the legal system such as it is.
It's difficult, even when you see someone with all of his problems, to get him institutionalized and get the help that he needs and to require him to be a part of his own healing. But let me say this about this. What's disturbing to me, everyone's tipping around this concept of domestic terrorists. Despite that laundry list of offenses, they're describing him as a loner, as someone who has mental health. We never hear the word thug. We never hear the word that we hear when we're
fine. Use any word you like.
African Americans. And this guy is just the biggest offender, but yet we're not calling it out like that.
Natalie, is he a domestic terrorist?
I think that word is pretty tricky, and I get frustrated with it when I hear the word domestic terrorist when it's used in this case, but it's not used at Fort Hood.
Well, but to be fair, I mean, people that are vulnerable are the ones that are sucked into domestic terrorist sort of cultish behavior, right?
True.
I mean,
and if I can go back to what you said about prognosticating, you can't prognosticate, true, but you didn't have to with this guy. He had a history, a big string there, and I'm wondering why all the charges were dropped,
right?
And why he was, of course, as a firearms person, as a strong Second Amendment supporter, I'm wondering why he was able to get a gun when, of course, he's got this long history.
Which is the other issue with all this, guys.
Here's the fundamental problem, and this is something that I've been yelling about the criminal justice system for a long time, is we tend to treat symptoms rather than underlying problems. And in some respects, it's like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, where you see this ever-escalating misbehavior. It's never fully clinically addressed when people are punished, because in the adult penal system, it's just about locking them up.
Right, so
and unless somebody is deeply committed to making those changes, and this guy clearly is not somebody who's in that camp.
Think very carefully, everybody. Do you really want law enforcement and the criminal justice system to be the mental health delivery system in this country?
No, it's racist too right now.
Absolutely,
there's a lot of racism in there.
It's a catastrophe, and it's been a slow-moving catastrophe. It's contributing to the homeless issue. It's contributing to people getting guns who shouldn't. It's contributing to doctors being unable to do their job, and it's contributing to all these stories we keep reporting in the news. I'm getting sick of it, but here we are again.